Hey, what is up everyone? Trevor Lego Studios here. Welcome back to another episode of the Minifigure Wall, episode 5. Guys, I'm super excited to bring this episode to you all. Now, if you're new to this channel or new to the series in general, basically each month I showcase a bunch of new figures that I've built up in my collection and that I will be adding to the Minifigure Wall, which I have, of course, to my side right here. And the goal, of course, is to be collecting every Lego Star Wars minifigure. Now, of course, there are some exceptions, including some of the rare earth metal ones, but some of the more, I guess, rarer but I guess more collectible, like the Cloud City Boba Fett or Gold C-3PO. That is another thing to talk about. But other than that, I do have some awesome figures to showcase for you all that I'll be adding to the wall, of course. If you're enjoying the series, definitely show some love by smashing that like button. And yeah, let's get into today's first set of minifigures. First set off, we are going to have a couple Jedi right here. Of course, we do have the original Yoda minifigure right here. This is actually a really cool figure in my opinion because of the fact that I always thought for the time it came out, it was a really nice detailed figure. The printing on the chest, of course, and on the back was always nice, of course, but that head sculpt for the most part was really nice. It was very accurate and very reminiscent of Yoda, so that was really nice. Of course, it would have been nice to get some printing on the eyeballs to kind of give it some pupils or whatnot, but honestly, like, the figure looks great for the time period that it came out. So I was super excited to get this figure. I actually got it like the day after, or at least I think the other day after the last episode came out, and I was like, man, could have added this figure to the wall. But do have that one. Next we do have, of course, Ben Kenobi. This figure came out in the little Death Star cannon set that came out at the beginning of this year. He's got the new cloak piece right there, or I guess hood piece for Ben, and really nice figure. Again, very reminiscent of what he's supposed to look like on a Death Star sneaking around. I've had this figure and I just haven't had time to put him up on the wall, but I was like, you know what, I have him now, and he'll be a nice addition to the wall. So nice Jedi. Of course, we do have an older one and the more recent one. So moving on, we of course do have some more figures I guess I had in my collection already. Basically, I just haven't had time to put them up, or haven't. Basically, I just found them again and decided, you know what, they're going up on the wall. So the first one, of course, is the I guess accurate or movie accurate version of Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars attire. As you guys can see, he's got like the Clone War uniform, as well as like the Clone War haircut. This came out in the Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, the most recent one. It's a really nice figure, and pretty detailed one as well. So it was really cool to get this figure because of the fact that, you know, other than getting just a normal Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars attire with a cartoony looking face and stuff, this is a more accurate one to, like, you could use this for mocks. And for instance, I used this figure for my my Camino mock, and it worked perfectly. So really cool figure, happy I have him, and I was glad I was able to use him. Next, we of course have the Snow Wookie, or Snow Chewbacca, I think is what he's kind of called under. Of course, he just is the Christmas version of Chewbacca. Basically, he just, instead of being the normal Wookiee color, he's this snow white, and he's got like these Christmas colors, green and red, for his bandolier. So really nice figure. I found him again and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna add him to the extended universe. I do have some of the other Christmas ones, but a couple of them are missing a certain piece, so I'm probably gonna have all the like Christmas figures in its own row. But this is of course one of those exclusive figures that will be added to that section right there. But yeah, it's pretty much the standard Chewbacca figure, but in a more Christmassy attire. So moving on, we do of course have some figures that I just received in the mail today, which was pretty exciting. I was hoping to get them in today as well. And as you can see, we have some Gungans right here. And the first one, of course, is going to be the Gungan Warrior from, I think it's 1999, is from that Naboo attack set, I believe. It's really a really cool figure because it's just the plain Gungan Warrior. It's not Jar Jar or anything, and it's not meant to be a figure. It's just kind of one of those normal Gungan Warriors that you'd see multiples of in Phantom Menace. So a really cool figure, and honestly, like, for the time, the details on it is pretty nice. Like, I really like that torso print. And come to think about it, I believe I now have every Gungan figure. I'll go back and check, but I believe I do have every single one now. But it is really cool. I've actually put this right next to the newer version of the Gungan Warrior, and it's pretty cool to see. And yeah, in general, it's just a nice figure and a nice Gungan to add to my collection. And last, again, we do have another Gungan. This is probably my favorite. This is Captain Tarpals. This is a figure I've actually been wanting to get for some time. I was going to buy the, I think, Naboo Freako Speeder. I think that's what it was called. There's that green speeder that was on Naboo. I can't remember. I think it was called a Freako Speeder. But it was a really nice set. The set itself was really nice. It was only $30, and it had some really cool figures, including an exclusive Captain Tarpals. And I just never got around to buying that set. I thought about buying it a while back, but I was like, you know what, I'll just buy the figures eventually. But the figure on this figure detail is really nice. I think this is one of the more figures that kind of gets overlooked because it's a Gungan, but honestly, like, the detail on him is really nice. Like the head printing, the overall printing on the torso, legs, and thigh, that's just really nice. I like the reflective, like, gold, I guess you could say, that shines on it, and overall printing on it is really nice. I also like the nice light violet color scheme on him. It definitely diversifies him against, like, the older ones, but the newer Gungans as well, with the dark orange or just burnt orange or burnt skin color. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's a really cool figure. I'm happy I now have Captain Tarpals. He was the one of the figures from Phantom Menace that I was really wanting to get. So luckily the seller had both of these figures. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and buy both of them. So moving on, we of course do have two more figures that came in the mail today. And this was really cool. Now, I did order some more figures that came along with that package, but there's no sense of putting them on the wall. It was basically a bunch of Wookiees. I think I got 4 of the Rebels plain Wookiees and then 2 of the Chiefs. So I do have those, but I'm going to keep them off to the side, of course, with Kashyyyk coming soon. So there's no sense of putting it on the wall just to take it down in a couple weeks. So, but that was the main reason I bought this order, and they had some other minifigures. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pick them up. So this one, of course, is Captain Jag, I think is what his name is. He was in the Arc 170 with Kit Fisto, and he was kind of a captain pilot, I guess you could say. I think he was the pilot that you saw at the beginning of Episode 3. So, really cool figure, honestly. Like, compared to the most recent Arc 170 pilot, this is a really nice, very nicely detailed figure. The printing on it is really nice. I love the helmet print. Again, something that I really love about pilots in general in Star Wars is their unique helmets and their unique printing. So having a newly pilot that has his own separate helmet print is always such a nice detail, in my opinion. So definitely a really cool addition to the collection. And of course, right now we have the next one, which is Anakin Skywalker from Episode 3. He, of course, is the one that has the link, I guess, on his head that he uses while he's flying his interceptor. It's a really cool figure because of the fact that I do already have the burnt up version of him, and this is a good thing because I almost bought the burnt up figure again because I forgot I had it. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this one instead, and it was probably a good thing because I do not have this figure. So it's going to be really cool to have, like, the plain Anakin Skywalker and plain Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 3 from 2005. So it's a really cool figure. Again, the printing's kind of, you know, plain, but that of course was what it was back around that time frame. So it is a really cool figure, in my opinion, because, you know, having this old version of Anakin just bring back some memories from playing Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Now, moving on, we do have the last few figures we do have here are Astromech Droids, or Astronomic Droids, however you pronounce it. I've been kind of tuning out on not adding these figures to the wall because, of course, I've been focusing on others, but I do have a lot of really cool Astronomic Droids that I, of course, will be adding. So, okay, guys, so I had to figure out, of course, the names for the guys. I did want to make sure that I gave them correct ones because some of them just are called Astromech. So, first one, of course, is R3S1, I think is what his name is. This is the silver with the more transparent headpiece with the orange printing on top. This is a really cool figure. He came in the Rogue One Y-Wing back in 2016 when those Rogue One waves were coming out, but he came out in the Y-Wing set, so it was a really cool figure, in my opinion. I think I have a couple more of them because I bought a few of the Y-Wing, so it's actually a really nice figure, or, you know, droid for the most part. So in general, he's a nice one. He's going to be going in the Rogue One section. Now, this one, of course, is what I was meaning by they didn't really have a number. Like I said, this one is R1S3. This one is literally just Astromech Dark Turquoise. That is all it says on Bricklink. So it's actually a really cool figure. Now, of course, this did come in the more recent Y-Wing, the Resistance Y-Wing. This is a really cool droid because of the fact that when I think this was one of the leaks from Rise of Skywalker, and after I saw it, I was like, man, that is a really nice looking droid, because turquoise in general is a pretty cool color in my opinion. But getting it in like a full droid figure is a whole nother thing. So it's a really cool figure. Again, I would give it a number if it did, but it literally just says Dark Turquoise Astromech Droid. So with that being said, moving on to the last couple Astronomic droids. Okay, so the final two, I did of course have to look them up. Of course, I did have to do some scavenging because these guys didn't show up on Astromech. I had to go to the specific set they were in. So this first one, of course, is R2-Q2. He came in the Imperial V-Wing set that I guess was kind of expanded universe or something that happened basically after episode 3. It was a really cool set, and of course it is a nice Astronomic droid. He's got that nice polished or pearl silver on it, and overall is a pretty cool droid in my opinion. And he's just got that Imperial theme going on. Like, you can just look at this one and think, oh yeah, he's Imperial. So moving on to the last one, we of course do have R5S7. This is a interesting droid. This one came out in the I think it was day 7 of the Advent calendar. He came out a couple years ago, but this is a pretty cool figure. Like, he's got a nice color scheme. He's got yellow and red, a little bit of red mixed into him, but in general, it was a cool figure. Again, I did have to search these guys up because they did not pop up under Astronomic droids when searching. So, really cool figures or really cool droids. So, we're of course going to move all these figures over here, and I'm going to set up the time lapse, and you guys will get to see all these cool figures added to the Minifigure wall right now. Okay guys, so this is of course what the wall is looking like this week. I have all the new additions added to the wall, and guys, this wall just keeps filling out and just keeps on looking better and better each episode. So of course, going down the list, we do have the updated Gungans right up there. I do like how kind of having like the older versions of the characters or figures and the more recent ones kind of right below them, so it's pretty cool to see, as well as you have Captain Tarpals sitting right below them right there. Moving down, of course, we do have Anakin Skywalker in his Clone Wars uniform up there in the Clone Wars section. Moving down, we have Anakin Skywalker. Keep on, we have Captain Jag. I put him right next to the, I guess, most recent ARC 170 figure, and again, both of them having them, it just looks pretty cool in my opinion. Moving down, we do have the Obi-Wan slot right there. I kind of thought about putting him right under this, and this is kind of when it's getting to the point where I may have to start extending a bit. But I ended up putting him kind of in the corner and kind of having the multiple versions in a different space. We do have the Silver Astronomic Droid from Rogue One put right there with the rest of the Rogue One cast. Moving downward, we have the Snow Chewbacca, the Yellow Astronomic Droid. Keep on going down, we of course do have R2-Q2 next to his pilot buddy, so I of course have that full set right there. We have the original Yoda figure. Looks really cool. Again, just putting him right next to the more recent version of himself, it's actually a pretty cool sight to see in my opinion. And of course, moving down, we do have the Turquoise Astronomic Droid put down there. So overall, the figure wall is of course looking great as always. There's some spots of course that are seeming bare, but on other hands, like, the wall just keeps on filling out with a bunch of really cool minifigures. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you're still enjoying the series, definitely show some love by smashing that like button. Get excited for, of course, Kashyyyk, because that is coming soon. As you guys saw earlier in the video, that the table was pretty much cleared. I just have a little bit more to clean up, but the rest of Kamino is completely dismantled. So stay tuned for Kashyyyk episode 1. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of the minifigure wall, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.